Welcome back into the Rowdy Studio. I'm Stephen Levine. This is Tom Vandervoort. It's time for our pre-race Big Three, brought to you, of course, by our good friends at the Bristol Motor Speedway. If there is an antidote to Daytona, it's New Hampshire.
Well, New Hampshire is flat, very flat.
And relatively short.
It's a mile long. You have to call it a big short track because it is slower at a mile than, for example, Dover. It's very, very different from Dover because it is so flat in the corners. Think of it like a big Martinsville. What that means is there's not a lot of grip in those corners. So the real challenge here at New Hampshire, the magic mile, is can I get into the corner, get the car to rotate in the center, which is tough. There's not a lot of banking to help you do that. And then still get on the gas and fire off down the straightaway.
Forward bite.
Forward bite. Getting the rear tires hooked up when you step on the gas because you freed the car up to get it to turn. So that's really the tough part about New Hampshire. Some guys, some teams just seem to understand how to do that.
Absolutely. And another thing I guess you want to look at a little bit, though not to the extent that you would at Martinsville, is something like brakes. Coming off the straights and approaching those corners, you're going to get into the brakes relatively hard compared to, you know, a downforce track or obviously a plate track like we had last weekend.
Right. You've got long straights, tight, flat corners.
So you need to manage those brakes. You need to make sure that they last the entire race. Some guys are better at that than others.
Absolutely, and I think you have to look at a couple other factors. One is weather, which has been known to crop up there this time of year, and the other is fuel mileage. You can have long green flag runs here. It can be tough to pass here. Generally what happens is you got maybe 3 to 5 cars that can balance that free in the center, tight on the gas equation. And those cars are the ones that are able to get in, get underneath someone, and pass them coming off. So it's not that it's tough to pass for everybody, but I think you have 3 to 5 cars that can make passes out there. Those guys will get to the front, and after that, you may see some long green flag stretches.
You may. Now, the good news going into New Hampshire is that it's a good track for some of these guys who are on the bubble. Clint Boyer, for instance, he's in 10th, and he's got a 30-something point lead over 11th, but only 1 win. He needs a win just to solidify his place in the chase. New Hampshire is a place where Clint Boyer could do it. Another guy, Ryan Newman, has 3 wins here.
Yep.
Ryan Newman only has 1 win. Right now he's on the outside looking in of those wild card drivers, and he could use a win here. He's auditioning for both a new sponsor and a new ride.
Yeah, and you have to also look at Martin Truex Jr., who's had some good runs here in the past. He's slipped a little bit lately. I think this is an opportunity for him. But I think the favorites, when you come to New Hampshire, you really look at the 2 guys who are good at Martinsville, and that's Jimmie Johnson and that's Denny Hamlin.
Absolutely. I agree with you. Those guys are the 2 favorites going into this race. So who do you like?
I like Denny. I like Denny Hamlin on. I know Tony Stewart coming off that win at Daytona is very good here. Won here in the chase last year. I like Denny Hamlin. All
right, I'm going to go with Ryan Newman just because I think he really needs it. He doesn't know where he's going next year. He doesn't know who's going to be on the hood of his car. So he's going to have a little extra motivation, not that he needs it. I'm going to go with Ryan Newman.
Sounds good. No one went with Junior, even though I think this should be a better track for Junior than he's shown here over the course of his career.
Well, that's why nobody has picked him, because
I guess so.
He hasn't shown that it's a good track for him.
One of these days, Dale Jr.
of his career. That's Tom. I'm Stephen. Thanks for watching.